that life from its very beginning, more than 3 billion years ago, did not take over the planet by combat, but by networking, by partnerships, by collaborations. Now, when you study these principles of ecology in detail, you will soon find that they're all closely interrelated. They're just different aspects of a single fundamental pattern of organization that has enabled nature to sustain life for billions of years. In a nutshell, nature sustains life by creating and nurturing communities. No individual organism can exist in isolation. Animals depend on the photosynthesis of plants for their energy needs, as well as on the nitrogen fixed by bacteria and on many, many other organisms. And together, plants, animals, and microorganisms regulate the entire biosphere and maintain the conditions conducive to life. So we see that sustainability is not an individual property, but a property of an entire web of relationships. It always involves a whole community. This is the profound lesson we need to learn from nature. The way to sustain life is to build and nurture communities. A sustainable human community will interact with other communities, both human and non-human, in such ways that enable them to live and develop according to their nature. Sustainability does not mean that things do not change. It is a dynamic process of co-evolution rather than a static state. And as I mentioned before, life is inherently regenerative, and therefore sustaining life means sustaining continual regeneration. Well, ecoliteracy is the first step on the road to sustainability. The second step is ecological design. We need to apply our ecological knowledge to the fundamental redesign of our technologies and social institutions so as to bridge the current gap between human design and the ecologically sustainable systems of nature. Design in the broadest sense can be understood as the shaping of flows of energy and matter for human purposes. Ecological design principles reflect the principles of organization that nature has evolved to sustain the web of life. Requires a fundamental shift in our attitude toward nature. A shift from finding out what we can extract from nature to finding out what we can learn from her. In recent years, there has been a dramatic rise in ecologically oriented design practices and projects, all of which are now well documented. They include a worldwide renaissance in organic regenerative farming, the organization of different industries into ecological clusters in which the waste of any one organization is a resource for another. Similarly, the shift from a product-oriented economy to what designers call a service and flow economy, in which industrial raw materials and technological components cycle continually between manufacturers and users. We also have green architecture with buildings that are designed to produce more energy than they consume. Buildings that emit no waste and that monitor their own performance. We have hybrid electric cars achieving fuel efficiencies 2 to 3 times that of standard cars. And of course, we have an increasing number of electric cars. And there is the development of efficient hydrogen fuel cells that promise to inaugurate a new era in production. In Berkeley, for example, we have big city buses with beautiful butterflies painted on them that run on hydrogen fuel and have no exhausts. These eco-design technologies and projects all incorporate the basic principles of ecology and therefore have some key characteristics in common. They tend to be small-scale projects with plenty of diversity, energy efficient, non-polluting, community-oriented, and labor-intensive, and in this way creating plenty of jobs. So you see, these are systemic solutions solving various problems at the same time. The technologies available now provide compelling evidence that the transition to a sustainable future is no longer a technical nor a conceptual problem. It is a problem of political will and leadership.